blessing on water. Before eating, if there was no wine, my teacher, the Arizal, ordered me to drink less than half a cup of water, to say a blessing beforehand, without the blessing that is said after drinking, and to include the water in the meal. I once drank more than a cup, and he reprimanded me, saying, I saw you drink without saying the blessing after water, which is a great sin. One must be careful to say the blessing on food with great kavanah. Non-Jewish bread. A person must be careful not to eat bread baked by non-Jews, even if sold by Jews. When saying the blessing over bread, raise your hands while holding the bread in both hands, emphasizing the ch of the word chamotze. Impure animals. Know that with impure animals, a person cannot separate the good from the bad part at all, and the Torah forbade their consumption. We can rectify pure animals, however. One who eats impure animals will become impure himself and will lose Ari-Hakodesh. Eating at a four-legged table. I saw that my teacher, the Ari-Hakodesh, was extremely careful to eat only at a four-legged table on Shabbat and Yom Tov, as that was similar to the table in the temple. One must be careful to place 12 loaves of bread, 6 on each side along the table, corresponding to the 12 lechem chapanim, holy loaves. Eating olives. Regarding olives causing forgetfulness, my teacher, the Ari-Hakodesh, said that this applies to an ignorant person. But if one eats them with spiritual intentions, it adds to his memory, because he elevates the olives when he eats them. Washing fingers before Birkat Hamazon. One must recite the blessing immediately after washing hands. One must be careful not to interrupt between washing hands after the meal and the Birkat Hamazon blessing. A wise man once came to my teacher, the Ari-Hakodesh, complaining about great pain in his arm, and my teacher told him that this pain was due to the fact that he violated our sage's words and read Mishnayot between washing hands and Birkat Hamazon. The bone of Luz. Our sages said that there is a bone in the back of the neck where the tefillin knot is placed, which never decomposes, and in the future when Hashem resurrects the dead, the body will begin to revive from that bone. The prophecy of Ezekiel. Why was the prophet Ezekiel called Ben Adam, and why did his wife die in a plague? Why does it say in his prophecy, the Kohanim and the Levites, sons of Zadok, something we do not find anywhere else in the Torah? How will all the Kohanim and the Levites serve together wearing linen garments? Also, what did our sages mean when they said that Chaim's sons were hung until the flood wiped them out? Adam continued to sin after he ate from the tree of knowledge, and he gave life to spirits and demons by ejecting sperm in vain, and then immediately after that, having relations with his wife, resulting in the birth of Chaim, and subsequently of Chavel. Then for 130 years, Adam ejected sperm in vain. These were very high souls, and they were therefore controlled by the Satan. The Levites also came from Chaim's root. Kohanim and Levim are cleaner and are mostly good. They are Kohanim, but in the future where Chaim will be cleansed and will return to be the firstborn, the Levites will become Kohanim, and the Kohanim will be the Levites. Ezekiel came from Chaim's root and corrected his sin. Ezekiel was a Kohen and therefore gave that prophecy. He was created from the drop of sperm that Adam ejected in vain, and Ezekiel is therefore always called Ben Adam, because the other souls were from Adam and Chava together, while Ezekiel was just Adam's son. Mashiach, the son of David, and Mashiach, the son of Yosef, they shall be singles. Know that Mashiach, son of David, comes from the tree of life, while Mashiach, son of Yosef, comes from the tree of death. He will therefore be killed at the gates of Jerusalem. Bearing the Ibor. Sometimes a person will perform a mitzvah properly, and another ancient pious person who did the same mitzvah will join him. As it says, David's soul adhered to Jonathan. Another righteous soul may become linked to a person's soul to help complete his reparation, this being in accordance with the level of the soul's purification. This is called Ibur, a situation that is similar to pregnancy. Everything depends on the mitzvah performance of that person. The righteous soul will help him add strength and holiness and become like a father to him, instructing him at every step. If he becomes wicked, however, the righteous soul will not be punished, but will leave him. A minor sin. may be equivalent to a greater sin. Sometimes a person commits a very small sin, but is punished for having committed a major sin. One must not accuse Hashem for being too strict, because everything is with the right measure and justice. Because midah meged midam. Hashem does all things with righteousness and justice, and it's always measure for measure. Why people reincarnate. Regarding why souls are reincarnated, the first reason could be because a person had violated a Torah prohibition. The second, in order to perform a specific mitzvah that he had not performed. And the third reason is that the person needs to teach others how to improve their conduct. The first is very close to sin, the second is far from sin, and the third certainly does not involve sin. The pious wives reincarnate with them. Sometimes a person is reincarnated in order to marry his original wife, since he did not merit marrying her in his first incarnation. Sometimes he merited his original wife, but he sinned and was forced to be reincarnated and comes alone. In some cases, he has merits to the extent that even if his first wife is not obligated to be reincarnated, they return his wife with him. In other cases, he did not merit marrying his original wife, and they provide him with a similar wife, according to his deeds. She is given to him because she is a woman who most resembles his original wife, even if she was not obligated to be reincarnated.